to Tabspace. So, today I got another article for y'all, and I asked my Instagram if you've ever dreamt about something and it happened. And literally 100% of my Instagram said yes. I didn't expect that. I genuinely thought, like, oh, it's probably just me. Maybe I'm like crazy. I don't know what it is. Every single person that voted yes. And I'm going to have that right over here. But that said, okay, I got some very intuitive people that be, you feel me, whether it be on one platform or the other. I got some intuitive people around me. But that said, yes, I found an article in Women's Health, and the moment that I like got the scrolling, cause when I do my research, I start looking through articles and then I start to do my own research on them. So once this one came up, I was like, oh, I'm hooked. This has to be a topic of conversation. Don't mind my dry ass hands. I need lotion. That said, whatever. So, knowing that I'm not insane, not only from the article, but also from the confirmation of, the people that voted, I was able to read the article with the insight that, like, it ain't just you, girl. Like, it be a lot of people be feeling that way. But if you've experienced that, then I feel like you probably have experienced deja vu. Deja vu, that feeling that you've been somewhere before, you've been in a specific situation before. As soon as I thought about, like, I have a dream, it happens, I feel like I have been here before. Would those two experiences be the same thing? Is it deja vu? What is it? But deja vu is different. So what it's called when you dream about something and then it happens, it's called precognitive dreaming. Deja vu and precognitive dreaming are different because deja vu happens during an event, while precognitive dreams predict what will happen in the future. Okay, so you probably haven't lived the moment before. So when you thought of the instance, whenever, whether it was in your head or whatever, with the deja vu, it's like that all happens in the same moment. But with the precognitive dreaming, you have a dream about something and you probably wake up like, that was weird, like that was an interesting dream. And then later that happens and you're like, I know I'd be like, I just look up, look down, be like, did this happen in a dream the other day? I think it did. And then I just keep it pushing because I'm like, that's going to sound crazy to the person that I'm about to say this to. So I'm going to just keep it to myself. But now that I know so many of y'all have experienced the same thing, maybe I should ask. Or I should say, like, I just had a dream about this the other night. But anyway, so yeah, I found that difference. I'm going to have all, like, the articles and things that I get my information from always sourced at the bottom. So that way y'all have the ability to copy, paste, and do your own research and not take what I say at face value. Or if you don't care to hear my opinion about something, just read the article yourself if that's what you really want to do. But I like talking to y'all. I like giving y'all my little opinion. I like a dialogue. I would love it to be a two-way dialogue. So the more comments, you feel me, the better. That said, so I was thinking about how strange it was that I'll have a dream one night and then days later the exact scene is played out at work or when I'm out with friends, and it made me wonder if I had been there before. Kind of like how deja vu, it's like I've been here before. That dream will make you feel like you've been there before. And that's why sometimes I guess I get the deja vu and the precognitive dreaming confused, because I'm like, did I see it in a dream or did I just feel like I've been here before? But anyway, so since I don't know too much about the topic beyond what I've already shared, I'll be reading most of the article. Usually it's like my opinion article. This time it's going to be a lot of the article. I'll throw my little pizzazz in when I can, but Most of it's just kind of an understanding of what precognitive dreaming even is. Because, again, if so many of us have this experience in common, I just find it fascinating. So, if you've ever had a vivid dream and about an incident and then it happened, you may be among the 17 to 38% of people who have experienced a psychological phenomenon known as precognitive dreaming. A precognitive dream is simply a dream that seems to portray an event that occurs later on in waking life. And that comes from Carlisle Smith, PhD, Professor Emeritus of Psychology at Trent University. So these types of dreams are usually a bit shorter than non-precognitive ones, and they can be about yourself, someone in your life. Yeah, it can be about yourself or someone in your life, according to Smith. So you have a lot of dreams throughout your night. Many of them you don't recall. But the precognitive ones that you do get recollection of when the moment actually happens are short. And it makes sense because the shorter a dream, the more I can remember about it. When I wake up after having like a vivid dream about something, I'm going to be honest with you. If I don't like get to speaking it within the first like 5 minutes of waking up, I'm going to forget it all together. Although this phenomenon has widely been discussed and recorded in various cultures across the world for centuries, there is very little accepted scientific evidence of precognitive dreaming, largely because many experts today consider it to be pseudoscience. Pseudoscience, it's like that, yeah, y'all believe it because you want to believe it. So my first question is, how do you prove that you dreamt of something prior to it happening? Like, couldn't I just say that about any event? Couldn't I just say, I dreamt about that the other day? I could. So there's no way to prove it. And I don't know how or if you can record a dream to the point where you can see what a person is dreaming about. I feel like that's some like sci-fi type stuff that just, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was my first question. More than half of the general population believes in this concept, with many people believing they've had this experience at least once or twice in their life, explained Smith. In fact, the most common types of reported precognitive dreams is about a person's own health, says Leslie Ellis, PhD, and a registered clinical counselor specializing in dream work and the author of Clinician's Guide to Dream Therapy. At times, these dreams may feel emotionally intense or disturbing. However, they have the potential to raise your conscience and offer profound intuitive insight, adds Ruben, can't say that last name, Ruben N., we're just going to say that, PhD, a psychologist and clinical assistant professor of medicine at the University of Arizona. So, I don't know if I've ever had a disturbing dream that was acted. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a disturbing dream that was acted out. Most of mine are like about things that I probably do regularly, but they are a specific interaction that has only ever happened in that moment and never again. Like, it'll be like a small conversation with a coworker when I generally don't talk. So it's like, when those happen, I'll just be like, what was he talking about? And then it happens and I'd be like, oh my God, why? What is wrong with me? Like, I just be feeling like I'm not that so Raven. It's not a vision. So how is this happening? So yeah, anyway. One explanation is that a dream can recognize the dreamer's deepest emotions and desires. For example, when you're fixated on someone or something in particular, your subconscious mind might create a dream that reflects those intense feelings. And that dream, if that dream seems to align with your reality, it can feel like it's precognitive. So I guess, say I like somebody and I have a dream one night that we get together. And then one day I get with that person. I could see how in that moment, that one moment, a snippet of a moment, I may have daydreamed about it to the point where I didn't manifest it necessarily, but like my dream world was close enough to my real world that like it did end up happening. My dream came true, literally. Your dreams could come true, and maybe that's what it is that your dream, the things that you are hoping for, you really go out and get those things. You really work to be the best for those things. Like, you know? I mean, I feel like dreams do give you the ability to like wake up and be like, I'm gonna make that dream happen. So if you go into it intentionally, like I'm gonna make sure that I get that person, or I'm gonna make sure that I get that degree, or whatever that vision that you have for yourself is, and you've been thinking about where you want to go, and then you have a dream about where you're gonna end up, and then you really end up there. It's like manifestation, precognitive dreaming, a mixture of all of them. I don't know. Dreaming throws out a lot of possible futures to give us a heads up or a trial run at various scenarios. Sometimes they're right and they really happen, but it's more of a scattergun approach where some things hit and some things miss. And when they hit, then people are quite convinced that that dream is predicted in the future, has predicted the future. It makes sense. With how many dreams that you have a night and how long you spend of your life sleeping, I read in this article earlier, and I didn't highlight it, but about 26 years of your life is spent sleeping. If you add up all the nights that you sleep between the day you were born and the day you are no longer here. That's crazy. I'm not even 26 years yet. So to imagine that I'll have slept for 26 years by the time that I depart sounds insane. But if you think about it, what are the odds? You know what I mean? If I spend that long dreaming, and I have so many dreams a night, because you have I think 6 to 9 dreams a night or something like that. That was also in here, but I didn't highlight that either. Eventually, because if you do the math, 9 dreams a night, 26 years, you got to break down so many different things, but out of the odds, if you were to add all that up, the odds of you having at least 1 or 2 or 3 dreams in your lifetime that do end up actually happening exactly the way that you dreamed them, it's pretty likely. You know what I mean? Eventually, those lines are going to cross. Might not happen all the time, and it might happen more for some people than others, but eventually, them lines is going to start to... If you don't believe that the brain is amazing, I really don't know what is amazing, because the ability to play out scenarios that literally, not literally, that actually end up happening, that, who can do that? Who can do that? Nobody and nothing can do that without a brain. I'm saying. Other theories associated with precognitive dreaming include selective recall, the idea that you're more likely to remember precognitive dreams than other non-cognitive dreams due to personal biases and therefore believe them to be true, and the law of large numbers, which is the idea that if people are having a ton of dreams throughout their life, some of them, in terms of sheer probability, are bound to occasionally match future scenarios. So, what I said, but put less simply, there are a number of factors that can trigger or influence a precognitive dream, there are a number of factors that can trigger a precognitive dream, such as individuals' personal beliefs, cultural background, and stage of life. A lot of people have a relationship to dreaming that's spiritual or indigenous, where their take on the dream world is different from our Western perspective, says Ellis. I would agree with that. I believe that dreams are spiritual. I believe, because I like to interpret dreams, so that means I definitely think that they're spiritual, because I try to find the significance, what lesson I could learn from it and take to become a better person. So they're definitely spiritual to me. So a person that believes in that is probably more likely to have those dreams more often than a person that does not, because you're not going to pay as much attention to it if you don't really believe that your dreams and everything you do is a spiritual thing. You're just going to okay, so, you know what I mean? So, it makes sense. I don't, however, believe in Like I've heard of lucid dreaming and things like that. I'm not going to say that I don't believe that they're possible. I don't believe that I need to mess with a process that's been given to me by God. I don't feel as though I need to alter that. Like I feel like sleeping in itself is such a beautiful, refreshing like thing. So it's like, why would I go out of my way to like explore doing it in a way that might, why fix something that's not broken? You know what I mean? I love sleep. I love it. Why go and try to tweak something that I already love? That would be the problem with people. You know, I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, so a precognitive dream isn't necessarily about accurately predicting the future. Rather, it's an intuitive experience that can help you better understand yourself. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm a witch or a psychic or anything along those lines just because I have precognitive dreams from time to time. And I wouldn't call any of y'all those things either. I would just say that your dreams and just your dreams, like everything else that you experience in life, can teach you something. Period. So, that said, I'd rather look at it like, ooh, what can I learn from this? Than I got powers. Like, nah, like this ain't that. This is something that at the end of the day, it's not as uncommon as you might think. But it's also, all these things that we be talking about are tools that you can use to better yourself. And this is one of them. If you have precognitive dreams, if you don't, and if you don't, talk to me about it. You've never had a dream like that? Like, I wonder what that's like. Because, I always say I can only tell things from my own perspective. That's why I don't ever want y'all to take anything I say like, she trying to change me. She trying to get me to do this or do that. Or she thinks her way of life is so much better. So, like, screw her. No, I don't. I don't. One thing I'm going to tell y'all right now. I do not think that my way of life is better than nobody's. I'm going to say that off top. That ain't even why I'm here. I would never come to y'all. I would like to I would love to think that I'm a humble person, and I don't really believe that the way that I do things is the right way. I don't think it's wrong. I just feel as though there are multiple ways and multiple perspectives on any given situation. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is what it is. This is fact. Da 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 da. No. Y'all are more than welcome to disavow and disagree with everything that I say. That's completely up to you. I'm just here to give you my opinion. My tea. And then y'all do what you want with that. You feel me? The most common misconception about precognitive dreams is that they can accurately foretell the future. Though some dreams can feel prophetic, many often present metaphors and symbols that are connected to your emotions and everyday experiences. For example, if you dreamed about getting into a series of car crashes, your brain isn't necessarily telling you to cancel your next road trip. It instead is telling you that may have a fear of accidents or a major shift in your life. I would encourage anyone not to depend on dreams 100%, says Lennox. I think it's best to take precognitive dreaming lightly and then watch what happens next instead of deciding what you dreamed absolutely is going to occur. My main point. I don't ever want to get on here and tell y'all about something and then you explore it so far that you get lost in it, because that ain't the point. I just thought, dang, other people have that happen? That's crazy. I'm not crazy. And not only am I not crazy, but like, aren't our brains amazing things to just, bruh. That's not to say you should disregard your dreams, especially if they feel significant and meaningful. Oftentimes, they can provide invaluable insight into your psyche, affirm the power of intuition, and possibly alert you to anything of concern with your mental, physical, and mental well-being. I always encourage people to pay attention because whenever I work with a dream, there's always something of value that comes from it, says Ellis, and there's a reason we dream. Why would our bodies do this if it didn't have some very important function? Our bodies do it because I'm telling you, we can gain a lot from every experience we have in life. your dreams, your day to day, walking the dog. Like, you can learn something from everything you do. So, in other words, your dreams can't consistently predict the future with precise accurately, but dreams are really good guides to what's important to us. And I think they're also good guides to where we want to go. You either have a dream and it's a nightmare because you would never want something like this to happen to you, or it's the opposite and it's something that you want. And if it's something that you want, shoot for it, because you can make your dreams come true. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening to me ramble. And I will see y'all in my next episode of Tabspace. If you made it this far, I want you to comment and tell me what you thought. I also want you to tell me about a precognitive dream that you have had in your life. Bye, y'all.